decade ago, we made our entire facility LED. Wow. So we have always been more efficient in terms of how we light our facility and eliminated the incandescent lights, which even in the desert is kind of a two-edged sword. When you use a typical incandescent light, and then that generates heat. So then you have to use more air conditioning to cool the space from the heat the light's generating. So LEDs tend to be cool. LEDs generate much more lighting and illumination with much less energy. So we did that long ago. So we've taken steps for a couple of decades. I installed my first solar panels here over 20 years ago. So we have had zero carbon footprint for a couple of decades, long before it was fashionable. And so it's just something that I feel it's incumbent upon me to not just make the cleanest supplements in the world without additives, 100% pure, but to also be clean in how we make them, to not make a mess of our planet and our environment any more than, I wish, as I say, I'm a little vitamin company. I just wish big companies would invest the same way I did. They certainly have more resources than I do, but it was a decision that I made, and I think it was an excellent decision. I would make it again if I was given the opportunity. So I hope bigger companies will make as responsible a decision as I've made in terms of making their products responsibly.
Well, it is all of these decisions which has propelled Andrew Lessman to be HSN's #1 brand, most beloved brand, most well-received brand, most reviewed brand, most customer picks brand of them all, and we're proud to be here. If you're just tuning in on this very special afternoon, it's Andrew's final visit of the year, and we have 5 today's specials. We are stopping down, doing today's specials that have not been seen in some cases for many, many years, and shining a light on some products that are absolutely at the top of our list of must take. One of those is Vitamin K2 MK7. If you do not take this, we want to share with you why it's important. It works as a traffic cop, as it were, putting the calcium that we're getting where it needs to be. So we're benefiting in the maximum possible way, but we're making sure it's going where it needs to go as well. It's very important. Vitamin K2 MK7 is going to breathe new life into the way that calcium is absorbed into your body. We want to certainly take you through the pricing. We will get to vitamin D3. We're all not getting enough vitamin D3. We're going to solve that problem today, and then we're going to, of course, talk about our calcium, magnesium. If you want vitamin K2 MK7, here is the sizing. We're looking at a wonderful, 720 caps. We were saying that's going to be a 2-year supply for $99 and change, so you're saving more than you're spending tonight. Andrew? There isn't normally a 360 capsule supply. Right. There won't be a 360, there's normally not a 720 capsule supply. 360 is the normal large size. So the 720 will go away at midnight tonight. But what's amazing is the 720 capsule supply today is $30 less than the normal price of the 360 capsule supply tonight. Right. So the 720 is a great savings. Even if you just look to get another 360 capsules, it's basically what, $30. Right. So, but again, even on the large size, for an ingredient that normally is exceedingly expensive, I just wanted to make this, and HSN worked with me to do this. I wanted to make what's normally an expensive product exceedingly affordable. You only need to take 1 capsule a day. We increased the potency from 100 micrograms to 120 micrograms, so it's even more higher potency, yet it's by far the lowest price ever. And we're talking about the lowest price ever, yet it's 720 capsule supply, so a little more than a dime a capsule. So when you do the math for $99, it's roughly $4 a month. Right. To get the most sophisticated vitamin K2 supplement out there. This has nothing to do with vitamin K1. Vitamin K1 is about blood clotting. The benefits that come from vitamin K2 MK7 are not available in supplementing vitamin K1. They are not, unfortunately. I wish they were, but they are not. Vitamin K2 MK7 is an entirely different molecule. Its name is entirely different. Its mechanisms are entirely different. Those benefits are not available from vitamin K1. If you care about your skeleton, you need to care about vitamin K2 MK7. If you care about your cardiovascular health, your vascular health, your arterial health, you need to care about vitamin K2 MK7. Even this month, although, with all due respect to them, it was kind of a
poorly written article, but the fact that it exists underscores the importance of what I'm talking about, is that even Consumer Reports, and I don't consider them a bastion of knowledge when it comes to nutrition and nutritional science, they talk about the importance of vitamin K. The importance of vitamin K to our skeletal health, our bone health, our cardiovascular health, our vascular health, so our arterial health. So it's starting to get out there. I'm used to the fact that it takes about 20 years for the science that I talk about to really get picked up in the general information, what they call the lay literature. So it usually takes about 20 years. It took longer than that for glucosamine and chondroitin, took longer than that with CoQ10, took longer than that with omega-3s, with EPA and DHA, took longer than that with lutein and zeaxanthin. But with vitamin K2 MK7, I've only been talking about it for about 12 or 13 years. Right. So that's pretty good. I think we're actually making good progress. But it doesn't change the fact that until it gets picked up, there are so many tens of millions of people that are losing an incredible opportunity to make a difference, and affordably today, a little bit more than a dime a capsule to make a profound difference. And whether it's just making sure you get your calcium on a daily basis, whether you're getting it by diet, and you never ever supplement calcium, you still need to be concerned that the calcium in your bones, the calcium from your diet, is not ending up in your arteries or calcifying other tissues. That needs to still be an awareness. And vitamin K2 MK7, to my knowledge, is the only natural tool. It's like if we identify a natural problem, it just takes a little bit of looking, and we always can find a natural solution. It's not as if Mother Nature gives us a problem without there being some solution to that natural problem. And when it comes to calcium, in its dual role, calcium is vital to the strength and integrity of our bones. We can't think, gosh, I don't want tissues to calcify, so I'm not going to consume calcium and magnesium. That will end up with, everybody will end up with osteoporosis and osteopenia if we never consume calcium or magnesium. So we need those vital minerals. They need to be in our skeleton for the integrity and strength of our skeleton, but it also comes with a potential issue, and that's calcification of secondary tissues like our arteries, like our heart valves, like our aorta, most important vessel leading out of our heart. So if we want to ensure that those tissues don't calcify, vitamin K2 MK7 is the only ingredient that I am aware of, pharmaceutical or natural, that has science and clinical studies that confirm that benefit.
Andrew, wasn't it, excuse me, on vitamin K2 MK7 that you were reading the science about, and you used the word reversing?
Yeah, it says, well, what they talk about in the research is literally reversing. There's the clinical science I was reading, reversing stiffening of arteries. So it says de-stiffening. I'm not sure if that's a word, but they used it. De-stiffening, reversing the stiffening, reversing calcification. So that's an exciting opportunity that vitamin K2 MK7, because what it really does, it deals with the movement and mobilization of calcium, certainly in the bones. It stimulates the cells in our bones that create new bone tissue, and it tends to diminish the stimulus of the tissues that are breaking down bone tissue. It also then tends to stimulate the movement of calcium away from tissues where calcification has taken place. So what it does, it sort of shifts the equilibrium and favors the deposition and the utilization of calcium in our bones, and disfavors its deposition and its utilization in tissues that shouldn't contain calcium, like our arteries. So it's something that the science has been exciting to me for over a decade. But it's something that I seem to be certainly you'll go do some research, you'll find some products online and things like that. You find some people talking about it, but no one's spending abundant amounts of time out there really making a point talking about this. And for the first decade I talked about this, it wasn't based upon an interest, because the product wasn't popular. It's taken a decade of my talking about it to create some popularity. Certainly it's still only marginally as popular as things like omega-3s and our CoQ10 and other things like vitamin D, but it's getting there. And it really needs to get there, because I can't think of a more underestimated, a more neglected area of nutritional focus than vitamin K2 MK7. Vitamin D now gets its focus, vitamin B12 gets its focus, CoQ10 does, glucosamine, chondroitin. Even collagen peptides do. People are crazy excited about collagen peptides. But vitamin K2 MK7, it's as important or more important than any of those, but it still is, I'm the boy who cried wolf. It's still not getting the attention it deserves.
For many of us who've watched Andrew for 10, 20, 30 years, you can see the enthusiasm and the importance of this product, and that's why we're shining a light on it. If you're not currently taking a vitamin K2 MK7 supplement, you need to. I mean, there's no other, I don't know how else to phrase it, you need to. I wrote it down, and this is the last thing I'll say. This is word for word, one of the most important vitamins you could supplement. That was from Andrew. Here's the pricing before we swiftly move along. Final presentation for this afternoon anyway, 30 down to 720. Please bear in mind that 720 is a 2-year supply, down from $230 to under $100, so you're saving more than you're spending. That's why most people are ordering that.
And it's a good one, too, because we might not do this as a Today Special next year. This is one that sometimes there aren't that many Today Specials. We're playing catch-up in December, making up for the Today Specials we missed this year. So there's 5 of them we're doing right now. Also, if we didn't have the capacity right here to make more, the vitamin K2 MK7, that would have already been spoken for. The vitamin D3, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, that would have been already spoken for. So, so those 2 products, CalMag, we're still okay on. But again, we'll just have one more presentation this evening at, what is it, 8 p.m.?
Yes.
8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's going to be it on all of it. So hopefully we have enough product to last us through the evening when it comes to vitamin K2 and the vitamin D3.
So we'll move, I believe, on to vitamin D3 right now and kind of spend a little bit of time here. 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 IU. Nobody spends more. It's that same low price.